J.R.R. Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings paints a vivid tapestry of good versus evil, a struggle embodied in the clash between the forces of light and the looming darkness of Sauron. However, Sauron was not the ultimate source of malice in Middle-earth. He was but a lieutenant, a powerful servant of a vastly more ancient and terrible power, Morgoth, the original Dark Lord. To understand the depth of evil that threatens Tolkien's world, one must delve into the history of Morgoth, exploring his origins, his motivations, and the lasting impact of his corruption upon Arda, the world itself. Greetings all, I'm your guide, the Archivist. Today I will look at the history of Morgoth. Before we begin, please make sure to like the like and subscribe waystones down below, so that more people can learn from the archives. Morgoth's story begins long before the creation of Middle-earth, in the timeless halls of Iluvatar, the Supreme Being. He was originally Melkor, the most powerful of the Valar, the angelic beings created by Iluvatar to shape and govern the world. Melkor was granted immense power and knowledge, yet within him stirred a rebellious spirit, a desire to create and control, to impose his own will upon the design of Iluvatar. This seed of discord would ultimately blossom in the monstrous entity known as Morgoth. The first act of Morgoth's rebellion manifested during the music of the Ainur, the divine symphony that shaped the very fabric of existence. As the Valar sang their themes of creation, Melkor introduced elements of his own design, dissonant chords that clashed with the harmonious vision of Iluvatar. Not merely a matter of differing artistic opinions, it was a fundamental rejection of the established order, a declaration of independence from the authority of Iluvatar. The discord he sowed marred the very essence of Arda, introducing the potential for evil and imperfection in the world. These details are crucial to understanding that evil wasn't an external force imposed on Arda, but rather a corruption from within, originating from one of its most powerful creators. When the Valar entered Arda and began their work of shaping the world, Melkor followed, claiming dominion and seeking to undo their efforts. He sought to control the very elements, disrupting the formation of continents, poisoning the seas, and raising mountains of ice and fire. This marked the beginning of a long and arduous conflict, the War for Creation, which pitted the Valar against Melkor and his ever-growing corrupted army of spirits. During this time, Melkor established his first great fortress, Utumno, a vast underground stronghold carved deep within the north of Middle-earth. From Utumno, he spread his influence, corrupting the creatures of the world and twisting them to his will. He bred monstrous beasts, warped the natural order, and laid the foundations for armies that would later terrorize Middle-earth. The details of Utumno's construction reveal Morgoth's ambition and his willingness to pervert and dominate the natural world. To bring light and order to Arda, the Valar created two massive lamps, Iluin and Ormal, which illuminated the entire world. Melkor, in his rage, destroyed these lamps, plunging Arda into darkness and chaos. This act shattered the symmetry of the world, creating vast wastelands and unleashing terrible geological upheavals. The destruction of the lamps also coincided with the awakening of the elves, the firstborn of Iluvatar. Realizing their beauty and potential, Melkor sought to corrupt and enslave them. He captured many elves, taking them back to Utumno and twisting them into the first orcs, a mockery of their fair and noble elves. This act of corruption is perhaps the most heinous of Morgoth's crimes, a testament to his desire to defile and pervert the creations of Iluvatar. Understanding these details is paramount to grasping the depths of his depravity. The Valar, realizing the extent of Melkor's evil, launched a full-scale assault on Utumno in the War of the Powers. After a long and arduous struggle, Melkor was finally defeated and captured. He was bound with the unbreakable chain Anganor and imprisoned in the halls of Mandos for 3 ages. During Morgoth's imprisonment, Middle-earth enjoyed a period of relative peace. The Valar established Valinor, the Blessed Realm in the west, and the elves began to flourish. However, the shadow of Morgoth still lingered, and his servants, though scattered, continued to plot and scheme in the darkness. After 3 ages, Morgoth was released from his imprisonment, feigning repentance and humility. However, his heart remained black with malice, and he secretly plotted his revenge. He poisoned the two trees of Valinor, Laurelin and Telperion, which provided life and light to the Blessed Realm. With Valinor plunged into darkness, Morgoth, aided by the monstrous spider Ungoliant, stole the Silmarils, 3 jewels crafted by Fëanor, the greatest of the elven craftsmen. These jewels contained the pure light of the two trees, and their theft was a devastating blow to the Valar and the elves. The details surrounding the creation and theft of the Silmarils are central to understanding the conflicts that follow, and they become a symbol of hope and a source of endless strife. The theft of the Silmarils ignited a fire of wrath in Fëanor and his sons, who swore an oath to recover the jewels at any cost. This oath led to the flight of the Noldor, a massive exodus of elves from Valinor to Middle-earth, where they hoped to wage war against Morgoth and reclaim the Silmarils. The Noldor established kingdoms in Beleriand, a region in the west of Middle-earth, and waged a long and bitter war against Morgoth. Despite their valour and skill, the elves were ultimately outmatched by Morgoth's superior forces. One by one their kingdoms fell, and Beleriand was ravaged by war. The battles, the alliances and the betrayals, all these details paint a grim picture of devastation wrought by Morgoth's relentless pursuit of power. After centuries of conflict, the Valar finally intervened directly in the affairs of Middle-earth, launching a massive assault on Morgoth's fortress of Angband in the War of Wrath. The war was devastating, reshaping the landscape of Beleriand and causing untold destruction. Ultimately, Morgoth was defeated and captured once more. However, this time there would be no release. Morgoth was cast out of Arda, banished into the Void, a realm of darkness and nothingness beyond the confines of the created world. Though his physical presence was removed, his influence continued to linger in Middle-earth. Even banished, Morgoth's legacy remained a dark stain on the world. His corruption had poisoned the land, twisted creatures into monsters, and instilled a deep-seated sense of fear and distrust in the hearts of men and elves. His most powerful servant, Sauron, inherited his master's ambition and continued to spread his evil across Middle-earth. The seeds of discord and destruction that Morgoth had sown continued to bear fruit, shaping the course of history for millennia to come. The story of Morgoth is a cautionary tale about the corrupting influence of power and the dangers of unchecked ambition. It highlights the fragility of even the most beautiful creations and the ever-present threat of evil. Understanding the details of his history, his motivations and his impact on Arda is essential for appreciating the full scope of the struggle against the darkness in The Lord of the Rings and the enduring legacy of Tolkien's world. While Sauron is the immediate threat in the books, it is the shadow of Morgoth, the primordial evil, that truly looms large, reminding us that the fight against darkness is a constant and ongoing battle. And so I've now covered the content for this video, but if there's anything that has been missed, please share them in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this content, please remember to like the like and subscribe waystones down below. Naluig Vanadvan, until we meet again.